Welcome back to another playthrough series. It's been over a decade since we have played Doom, the original Doom board game, not the reboot, from 2004. And I don't know how to get a copy of, well, I know how, but I managed to get a copy of the expansion, which adds a whole bunch of new creatures, 3 new marine miniatures. They actually have chainsaws now, the new miniatures, versus the ones holding the guns, and a brand new deck of Invader cards, which I think are upgrades and modifications to the original deck. So basically, how the new creatures work, and we'll take a look at their stats here in a second, is the spawning cards are, they just basically use, they're saying that the zombie commando is equivalent to the zombie. So what I've done is I've taken two zombie commandos, because you can, if it says here, we're playing solo, of course, if you didn't know, I didn't know if I mentioned that. The Invader player may spawn no more than 4 of these figures. So I have 2 zombie figures, 2 zombie commando figures. They are equivalent, they have different stats. And then when we have the spiders, the trites, and we have cherubs now. 4 of those, they're equivalent. And we have now revenants, which if you play the Doom game, you know these guys are nasty long-range shoulder rocket launchers, or the imps. 4 of them total. And now we've got a maggot, which is actually out on the board right now, or we have the demon dog pinkies. I think they're from the game, and they're equivalent. And we can have a maximum of 2 of those, and we have cacodemons now. Awesome. Or mancubus, and we can have 2 of those. So basically what I've done is I've taken half of each as our roster of aliens that can show up in the game to try and snack on our solo marine. And we will be doing the second scenario, which is called The Shores of Hell. I think that's what it's called. I'm pretty sure, yeah. So we're going to be doing that. And how you do it is basically, so we have doors, very similar to the first playthrough. I've done an entire playthrough of this, like I said, like 10 or 11 years ago now. The first one. And so to start off here, we've got like a machine gun, we got a chainsaw, we had a shotgun, we have one of these things that I just forgot what they were called here a second ago, the maggot, and then we have a commando, a zombie commando with his machine gun, his Gatling gun. And if you've played the games, you've run into these things before. Okay, let's take a look at our marine character. And when you play solo, you get 3 upgrade cards. I think they're called marine cards. But I've chosen them because this is going to be a brutal mission. It's brutal solo. Of course, you'd have a disadvantage if there's only one of you. Now, I'm using red miniatures. You're supposed to use green for green, but I want to have our marines stand out. And so all enemies are going to be red, and all marines, well, our one marine is going to be green. So I'll never get them mixed up on the board as to who's an enemy and who's the good guy. All right, let's take a quick look at our character. And then we're going to take a look at the scenario itself, and then we'll get into it. Alright, so the character himself has got 13 health. The reason he's got 13 health is because we have survival ops. You start the game with 3 extra wounds. When you respawn, you gain these wounds back. So instead of having 10 health, we have 13. We also have 1, 2, 3 armor slots filled up. Normally you have 2, and the reason we have 3 is because we're tough. We start the game with an extra armor token. When you respawn, you gain this armor token back. And you're thinking, what is this respawn I'm talking about? The respawn is when you get fragged. I mean, you lose all your health, you get knocked out, and you have to respawn. If that happens 6 times in this scenario, the Invader player wins. And we also have a special ops. This is our 3rd marine card. And this is a good one. When you use a weapon that rolls a red die, including your fist, it gains 2 hits. That's actually good. So hits are used to overcome armor, which then translate into wounds. So if we look at our board here, the green ones we always have available. So we always have our fist available to punch enemies in the face. And we use a red die, so we would get 2 extra hits just for punching something. We always have our pistol. It uses ammo here, you can see that. Or that's the ammo type it uses. And we start with 4 should mention that as well. So we have 4 regular ammo, no grenades, and no energy weapon ammo to start with. So, and we also can always have grenades available, but we don't start with any. You have to pick them up on the board somewhere. All right, and then there are 3 things we can do. We can aim, we can do it like an Overwatch, and we can do a dodge. Those are the 3 actions we can perform. I'll explain those a little bit. And then, of course, what would a game of this type be without a bunch of dice that you roll? So here's our red die. Now, the red die's got an X on it. That means you miss. The yellow die, likewise, has an X on it. You miss. All the green and blue dice have no X's. And they have like a distance value. So 2, 3, and then 2 hits are the little bullet holes. If you roll a bullet symbol, where's the bullet symbol? I think the bullet symbols are on the yellow, and there's a bullet symbol there. That means you use an ammunition. We'll get into the details as we play. All right, let's take a look at, we have a whole bunch of new enemies now. I'm just going to go over them very briefly because I'll explain them as we're playing. So we'll take a quick look at all of the enemies that we have now, and then we'll get into the setup for the scenario. And it's probably not focusing worth or whatever. So we have zombies, and we've got imps, trites, mankibuses, demon pinky dogs, and I forget what that guy is, and revenants, and a whole bunch of stuff. They're basically breaking down their stats. The first stat they have is their armor. That's how much damage you have to, how many hits you have to do to them to give them 1 wound. So for instance, this guy here has an armor of 3, so we have to do at least 3 hits to give him 1 wound. If we do 6 hits, we'll give him 2 wounds. If we do 5 hits, we'll only give him 1 wound, because wounds are calculated by overcoming armor. If you don't meet or exceed the armor number, you don't give them a wound. And this guy has 2 health, so they have armor and a health, and then they have below them the dice they roll, and below that is a bunch of special symbols. This one here means he's got 1, 2, 3, 4 range, and I forget what that one is. But on the back of the book, back of both books, the expansion and the regular, so they have like, they tell you what they are and what they do: accuracy, aimed, blast, symbol, blow through. Anyway, I'll explain it as we need to. And then of course these are the new enemies that came with the expansion. We got the commandos. They got 3 armor, 1 health, and the cacodemon, and etc. So again, when we get into fighting these specific enemies, I'll let you know their stats, and then we'll get to it. All right, let's take a look at the board. There's a few things lying around on the board itself, and then we will look at the scenario intro. All right, so like I mentioned, out on the board, so we have a machine gun sitting here, we have a chainsaw sitting here, we have a shotgun sitting here. This is a berserk token. We pick this up, we go nuts. We can only do melee attacks, but it gives us quite a buff. It lasts for 2 full turns. So of course, starting on the board, we have one of these maggots, and then we also have a commando, a zombie commando on the board. We have an ammo here, a regular ammo, and we have an armor token here. Now if we pick this armor token up, we'll have 4. But if we get fragged, we lose any bonuses. So we always are going to have 3 armor, but we can have more armor if we pick it up. All right, let's back camera a little bit and look at the introduction to this scenario. All right, so I'm backed out far enough so that I can, I don't want to show you this because it's going to spoil things. So we're not going to look at the map because the Invader is supposed to be controlling that. So once we open a door, new areas are going to be populated with stuff, which you won't see, as I did in the first video. So basically, the shores of hell. Mission briefing. You've made your way to Sector 4 on your way to the shuttle bays. That was actually the first mission that I did 10 years ago. However, you're also getting closer to the security breach, so you imagine the invaders will be growing more numerous the farther you go. You're interrupted by a beep from a nearby console. Linking your PDA to it, you find out someone in the security center of the base has sent you a short document containing some information of the invaders, along with some data on the weaponry to be found in the base. So basically, you get some information, which we've basically already looked at. Okay, so it just says make sure the Marines read the Invader weapon guides in the rule book. So we basically looked at all the weapons that we can find, and I've mentioned where they are on the board. Okay, armed with this information, you move through the security door and into Sector 4. So we are now currently in Sector 4. with a whole bunch of stuff going on here. So the scenario goals. You must make your way through Sector 4 to Sector 3. You'll need to pass through 2 security doors and battle the invaders that have infested the base. You must exit the board before the invaders score 6 frags. That said, if we get to 0 health, we have to respawn. That counts as 1 frag. If the deck runs out of invader cards, we also then reshuffle the invader cards, and that counts as another frag. And the invader can have a maximum hand size of 8 cards, I believe, and they start with 5, and when it's the invader's turn, they draw 1. So they basically start with 6 cards. Okay. Let's see here. You're currently in a room filled with gory remains of several Marines who tried to pass this way before. You hear the sound of moaning and growling nearby. Oh, yes we do, because we've got some monsters right here on the board. Alright, so let us begin. We'll probably have 1 turn from our Marine player, 1 turn from the Invader, and that will be our introduction for today. Alright, a couple things to go over here. Well, what can we do as the Marine, you ask? Well, it is all right here. The Marine's turn. Basically, first event is his turn. We have to choose our action before we perform our activity. We have 4 possible actions we can do. We can sprint, move up to 8 spaces, but cannot attack. Or we can unload. We can make up to 2 attacks, but not move. Or we can advance. We can move up to 4 spaces and make 1 attack. And you can interrupt your move to do that. Or we can ready, which means we can move up to 4 spaces or make 1 attack. We can either move 4 spaces or make 1 attack during the turn. So you can either do a ready token, so we can do an overwatch, a dodge, or an aim, but you can't attack at the same time, if that makes sense. So those are the things we can do on our turn. Alright, and now I have to actually get the cards ready for the Invader. So I will give this deck a shuffle because they start with 5 cards when we start, if that makes sense. And then on their turn, they'll be drawing cards. Now these cards have things like spawning enemies. There's a whole pile of events in here that can mess with us, the Marine. Yeah, so we'll do that. So they're going to be drawing 5 cards. 2, 3, 4, 5. And we won't see them because we're going to be playing the Invader player as hidden information. Alright, I'm coming right back and I have to take a look at the cards they have because some of them might apply right now when we begin our first turn. Alright, let's begin with our Marine. And I should mention, is the second you go on top of an item, you just instantly pick it up. You don't have to do an action to pick things up. So, and diagonal, you can move diagonally as well, so we can move 4. Now we can move 8 if we wanted to, but then we won't be able to put our Overwatch token on, which is really what I want to do. So we're going to start off with a move, and then we're going to use one of our tokens. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, and we pick up the shotgun. Oh yeah, now we got a shotgun. I have to find the shotgun space on our board. So now we are equipped with a shotgun. We still have 1 movement left. We're going to move back here, and we are going to do what I like to call Overwatch, kind of like if you've played the XCOM games. So now we're sitting here with a shotgun and a pistol, which we always have, and our fists if we want. We're just waiting now for the enemy to activate, which then takes us to the enemy turn. I should mention, to open a door, these are not locked doors. To open a door takes 2 of your movement points to open a door. So we could go like 1, and this is adjacent to the door because these 2 and the other 2 on the other side are considered door spaces. So this isn't like here and it's not back there, if that also makes sense. All right. So our Marine has moved into position. He's picked up the shotgun from one of the dead other Marines at the gore that's in the room, waiting for enemies to show up. Alright, it's the Invader's turn. Well, what the Invader does, they've already got 5 cards in their hand. They draw 1 card. They have to discard down to 8 cards if they have more than 8, but now they have 6. And so they can play 1 spawn card a turn and only 1 spawn card. They can also play as many event cards as makes sense. So let's let the Invader go over their cards, and they're going to come right back and activate their turn. Alright, the Invader is going to be playing a spawn card. One and only one. He can spawn 2 zombies on the board. Now they can either be zombies, or they can be, they can either be the zombies that came with the base game, or the other guys that came with the expansion. So they're going to be spawning one of each, because they can. Now, they have to spawn them outside line of sight, and normally other figures block line of sight, but for purposes of spawning, they don't. So for instance, we can't put this guy behind this one because we could still see that line of sight. And line of sight works center of hex to center of hex. Now, if we look at this, this passes through the black wall, so our Marine cannot see this hex, and it cannot see this one. And I believe it can't even see a center. Oh no, I would argue it cannot see this one because the black wall comes right out to here. So we're going to spawn one of these commando zombies there, and he'll spawn the other zombie there. Okay, so he's played 1 spawn card, and now he gets to activate all of his zombies. And there's 4 of them. Wow. Okay, he's going to check his cards to see if he's got anything else exciting going on. He does, but he's just going to hang on to it for a second. Now remember, we have the Overwatch ability, so we can interrupt their movement to take a shot. They are going to start with their maggots. And maggots, I forgot to mention, at the top of their sheet gives their movement. Maggots can move 5 spaces. They do 1 hit automatically, and if you move adjacent to them, they attack you, and they have 2 attacks. They've got 2 defense and 2 health, so we'd really like to take this guy out with a shotgun. So he's basically going to go move 1, 2, and 3. So the second he moves here, we are going to take a shot at him. We're waiting for him to get close to us, and now we're going to try popping him off. And we're going to use our shotgun, so let's take a look at the shotgun. Alright, so if we look at the shotgun, it rolls a red die, a blue die, and it does 1 extra hit, and it has blow through. So if we shoot through it, although there's nothing behind it, because there's a wall there, so we won't worry about blow through right now, but it basically means you can shoot through an enemy and into another one, kind of like a scatter shot. So we're going to roll those dice. Now, so that's going to be 1 red, 1 blue. Keeping in mind, we also have this card which says whenever you use a weapon that rolls a red die, including fists, we get 2 extra hits. So if the shotgun hits at all, it's going to do an automatic 3 hits. So let's get the dice tray out and roll up that shotgun preemptive blast. Alright, we're using the shotgun to shoot at the maggot. Let's hope we can blow it out, get rid of it. And, oh no! We have 0 range, and we need 1 range. I don't believe this! If you look at the dice here, we have a 0 and a 0. Which means we needed at least 1 to hit it, and we did not hit it. We should have just used our fists. But anyway, we didn't get ranged at all. So we miss. Just like that. So our preemptive little attack, I guess we'll leave the dice tray here, did absolutely nothing. Nothing at all. Alright, let's take a look at the little enemy and see what he's up to. So if we look at the enemy right here, he's got 1 automatic hit. He attacks us twice. He rolls a red and a blue. Oh man, it's going to be bad. Now watch, he'll just absolutely annihilate us. And he ignores bullet symbols. And he's doing a melee attack, so he doesn't need range. I should have just used my fists instead of the shotgun. I thought I had a better chance with the shotgun. 7 hits. 7. So basically, we'll do both of his attacks, because he gets to attack twice. Oh, he hasn't stopped moving. I should say we are preempted. He still had 2 movements, so he went 1, 2, 3. He's going to go 4, 5. He basically got in behind us. So we took a shot at him as he came by. he moved here, and they can interrupt their movement and attack again anyway. So he attacked once there after we missed him with the shotgun. He moved a couple more spaces here. Right, is that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, he would be like that. I do believe, because hang on, he started, I've got to get the movement right. He started here, he went 1, 2, 3, we shot at him, 4, 5. Yeah, so he would be right there. And he's got one more attack. So far, the first attack did 7 hits. We have 3 armor. 7 divided by 3, of course, is he didn't do us 2 damage, or he did us 2 damage but not 3. He'd have to do 9 hits. I don't know if I'm explaining this well. All right, his second attack is he gets 5. So luckily on the second attack, we've got 3 armor, so 5 is only going to do 1 wound. So bottom line of those 2 attacks, he actually gave us 3 wounds. Yikes. Alright, so of those attacks, I'm using these little easy to pick up and put down little tokens. So 3, that was our 3 extra health we have for being survival ops, so we still have 10 health left. That was his attacks. They still have 3 enemies to activate. And as you can see, this is a nasty game. Very nasty. Nasty indeed. Okay. He has one more trick up his sleeve, but he's not going to play it right now. He's going to activate his little walking zombie. This is a melee guy, so he cannot do any ranged attacks. The zombie commandos, of course, can. So this guy can move 3. So he's melee, but he's going to go 1, 2, 3. And yes, you can walk by, like you don't have to stop your movement, so he gets right up close and personal. His attack is a red and a blue. Wow, this is going to be, I don't know how we're going to survive this. This is absolutely brutal. So he does 4 hits to us. That's going to be 1 more wound for this guy. Oh my god, so we took 4 hits already. They still have 2 zombie commandos to go. Alright, 2 zombie commandos to go. These guys, now, because they're new, let's take a look at them. They have a ranged ability. They do 1 automatic hit. They roll a red and 2 green. Oh my god. And they can move, as you can see here, 3 spaces. Ay-yi-yi. So this guy's going to go 1, 2, 3. He's just going to get right close and personal. He's going to attack us, but not only is he going to attack us, they are going to play a surprise attack card. Play immediately after declaring an attack, but before rolling any dice. If the Marines targeted have a dodge order, cancel the ability to re-roll any dice on this attack. Otherwise, the attack is an aimed attack. Well, what does aimed attack mean? Aimed attack means this guy can re-roll any dice that he wants. So, and for him, let's take a look at the dice he's rolling. This is brutal. He's rolling 1 red and 2 green. Oh my god. Now, he does need a range of 1 because he's ranged, so let's hope he gets 0 range. And of course he doesn't get 0. Oh, but he doesn't do any damage to us. Oh no, he does, because he has a +1, right? He has a +1 damage just automatically. He does. Darn it. Okay. So his attack to us with the chain gun, you can see his range 3, 4, 5, 6. A ton of range. 2 hits plus the 1 he already does. 3 hits against 3 armor. That's another wound. Oh, I'm so glad we have 3 armor, not 2. So that's 1 more wound. And yes, he could have re-rolled the dice. But the green dice really are just range dice. And they only have a 1 hit on them. And that's really, there'd be no point him re-rolling them. And he didn't want to re-roll the red die, because if he re-rolled the red die, he might miss. So that's why he's doing us 1 damage. Alright, there's still 1 more zombie commando to go. And there's 1 more zombie commando to go. This is brutal. And they can move, what did I say? They can move 3. They can move 3. So this guy's going to go 1, 2, hang on, he's going to go 1, 2. Yeah, he's just going to get right up. So we're being swarmed. And what was it? A green, 2 green, and a red. And he gets 1 automatic hit. Ooh. And so he's got 2, 3, he's got lots of range. 2, 3 hits, plus 1, 4. We have 3 damage. That is 1 more wound. Oh, it's a fast and furious game. Okay, 1 more wound. We've already taken 6 damage. 6! And we've got 3 armor. Wow. All right. Well, That's going to be it for today. When we come back tomorrow, we're going to be starting off with our Marine again. So let's zoom down and wrap it up for today. And one other thing here before we wrap up. Yes, we rolled the bullet symbol, so we lose an ammo. When we did roll our attack against our first attack against the maggot, we rolled this die and we had the bullet symbol, so we lost one of our 4 ammo. All right, let's wrap it up for today. All right, well, that's going to wrap us up for today. We, as the Marine, are absolutely getting swarmed. We're going to have to do something pretty wild tomorrow to keep these guys under control, and we haven't even gotten out of our first room. Now, the Invader player will eventually run out of cards, and then they're just going to be drawing 1 card, but they're starting off with an absolute swarm here. So thanks so much for watching along. Thanks for your comments, subscriptions, and likes. This is Doom, the first edition of Doom with the expansion. We're playing the second scenario, the Shores of Hell. We're trying to get to Sector 3 from Sector 4, and we got a long ways to go. And the Invader's trying to frag us 6 times. If they can do that, they will win. If we can get to find and get through to Sector 3, we'll win. So we'll see how it goes in future episodes. Fun little dice chucking miniatures game. I hope you enjoy it. So thanks so much. I hope you'll join me tomorrow for the continuation.